Hey guys, Regular Guy here. So I wanted to create another video, and I guess I thought I want to recreate a video. About 6 years ago, I did a video called Why a Dillon Press. And I've had a ton of back and forth and talking to different people about that, and everybody has a different opinion, and I respect that. In this video, I just want to share my opinion. I found the Dillon products probably about, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. Yeah, probably at least 15 years ago, and I absolutely love them. I hate to throw out pricing on this because prices always change year to year. Go to DillonPrecision.com and you can find all the current pricing. The first press that I ever started out with was this one right here. It was a 550B. And it's a good all-around press. It's a semi-progressive press in that I have to index the shell plate, but it still has all the stations, and it still has a removable tool head. From that one, I ended up buying another one, and I had them set up, and I was doing rifle on one and pistol on the other so that I could minimize some of my change outs. And then I ended up selling the one, and I bought the 650. This is a 650 press. Currently, I don't think the 650 is still available. It's now a 750, and basically it's the same thing. There's a lot of different options. There's a case feeder that you can do. I ended up buying a case feeder kit for the 550B, and I didn't really like it, and typically I use this for all my precision stuff. So right now, I set it up, I trickle my own powder, everything like that, and I do real precision loading on that one. This one is more my high capacity, so I do have my case feeder. They do have a cool bullet feeder option, and I've never done that. I don't know what to say about that. But this press is so fast, it's pretty easy just to pop a bullet each time. What I did want to do is go through the change out. So right now, it's set up for 9mm. Typically I load 9 and 223 on this press, so I'm doing a lot more high capacity loading, I guess you'd say. So I wanted to go through kind of my change out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my tool head. So I popped a couple of parts off. And I can remove my tool head. This is the thing that I absolutely love about Dillon. All of my my dies are in my tool head. They're set. I don't have any silly little collars or clips that I have to screw them down to. They're simply set, ready to go for the next time. So I set this aside. I have these cool little tool head stands that it can live in. The next step is we have to change our shell plate. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this little case feed ramp out, and we're going to replace it with the one for the 223 case or 556 case. The next thing is this little shell plate. So there's a set screw under here. I'm going to loosen that, and then I can unscrew this bolt, and I can remove the shell plate. And I'm just going to replace it with the one for the 223. So pop that in. If you get one of these presses, you can go through the manual and it'll go through the setup with you. Make sure that you really watch that. As far as adjusting this and tightening it, I like to tighten it till I can still spin it, but it's just kind of tight. Right there. Now lock that set screw down. Now I'm set, ready to go. Now the 223 and the 9mm uses the same pins, so I'll just leave those pins in place. And then I'm going to slide my tool head in. This has all my dies for the 223. And you can see how easy that is. I'm set up. There's no adjusting dies. There's no it's just simply, it's ready to go. My powder measure is already set up. I've already measured the powder. It's just ready to go that quick. A couple of things to put the case feeder back together. The primer tube setup is the same thing because it's a small primer, so it's a small rifle or small pistol. So I don't even have to change that. I just load my primers up. I can put this powder throw on here, and I'm ready to load. There's a little shell plate. I've actually already changed it. This is the 9mm shell plate, and kind of the case feeder plate, I guess you'd call it. And I've got the 223 already loaded up. So we're just going to turn it on, load some cases. You can kind of see what it's doing. It's kind of cool, is it's just sorting the case and dropping in the back end first. And you can see they just kind of drop right down that tube. They're all set up, ready to go. I'll leave that off for a second because it gets kind of loud when they're dropping. But that's basically it. If you haven't watched any of my other cases, I've got a good video that shows my case prep, what I do to get my cases ready. Instead of taking a dirty case and going through and loading it and everything, I want to clean it really good. So I'll go through and I'll deprime and size the case when they're dirty. And then I go through a cleaning process where I can clean, it'll get the primer pocket, clean the case inside and out, and then I anneal it. I have this cool annealer that I can anneal and kind of heat treat that shoulder of the case, and it makes my cases last, gosh, like way longer. I still have to trim it. I've noticed after I've trimmed it once and I do that annealing, my trimming is very minor. Anyway, we're set up, ready to go. I've got primers loaded up, so we're ready to start loading. So what you're going to see with the Dillon, and it's why I absolutely love this press, we got to get the cases going here, is it's going to drop a case. Normally on this throw, it's going to size that case, but since these are already sized, I don't have my size die. So my next station, I'm going to prime it. So if I push forward, I put a primer in. Now as I come up, it's going to get a powder charge, and the next one gets a primer, and you can see it's going to rotate each time. What's really cool about the 650 and 750 is it goes from a 4-station press to a 5-station press, which allows me to add this powder check. So you could hear that tone when it was giving me a tone. It's telling me, hey dummy, there's something wrong. What it was reading is there wasn't a case there. So it was saying, hey, something's wrong. Well, we had an empty station. So now what it's going to do is it's going to measure inside that case and see if the powder is within parameters. That way I'm never going to get a double charge. I'm never going to get, you know, something screw up and I don't get a powder charge. It's going to let me know that, hey, there's something wrong. So now we're at this point. This is our bullet seating station. So we're going to set a bullet on top of that case. Now as I come up, we're putting a new case in, we're powdering a case, we're checking, and we're setting a bullet. And as I come down, I can prime that one. Now I put a bullet there. This is when the magic starts to happen. Now I'm pushing a case in, I'm powdering a case, I'm checking a case, I'm setting a bullet, and I'm crimping. And then as I come out, it drops that case, that very first one out. That's my completed cartridge. So now let's throw a couple more cases up here real quick so we don't run out. Now with each time I set a bullet, I'm going to have a completed cartridge pop out of the back of that case. And you can see just how fast I can crank rounds out. Okay, so I got a tone on that one that could have caught up on the case lip. So I'm just going to check. My powder looks good. I might need to adjust that just a little bit to get that false alarm off, but I kind of like that it tells me, hey, check it out, something's going on. And you can set the parameter to a really tight tolerance. So I can even watch that and see where my powder level's at. Anyway, from here on out, we're good to just start loading. And it's just as fast as you can go. To put more cases, normally I would just leave that turned on, and you can see it dropping the cases for me. And I can just sit there and rock and roll. I hope that was educational. I wanted to share this because, I don't know, I just keep getting so many comments like, hey, well, what about a Hornady press? What about, you know, this? And my buddy said this. Well, this is my opinion. the Dillon presses are the only way to go. And that's just my opinion, and it's because of the tool head, it's because of the precision involved, and frankly, they're just really well built. The thing is rock solid. I mean, they're bulletproof, and I absolutely love them. If you have any questions at all, you're just getting into this or whatever, please leave me a comment. I try to watch my comments and I try to answer to the best of my ability. But anyway, it is, as you see, I think right now you can buy just the press without the case feed. The case feed is like one of the options. There's also a different handle that's like a roller handle, probably a little more ergonomic, but I didn't really see the need for it. Anyway, the only other equipment perhaps you might need, you're going to need your dies, you're going to need maybe a little caliper that you can measure your case cleaning stuff, case trimming, but that's really pretty much it. There's a cool case trimmer that I might as well show you. It's by Little Crow Gunworks. So I can take my case that I've sized, I put it in here. Oh, you know what? That's my Creedmoor. So this is the Creedmoor one, but I just pop my case in there, spin it, and that trims my case. And they come with these cool little interchangeable collets, so I can pop that collet out and I can put in my 300 blackout, or I can put in my 223, or whatever it is. It's just that cool little collet. Anyway, just thought I'd share that with you real quick. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. I think I'm just gonna do a little reloading. Anyway, I wish you happy reloading. Stay safe. Rock on.